Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. And I'm going to take you back in time. Let's begin the video by taking you back in time to 1989. And there was a big fight. Took place in London, Finsbury Park, in a big old tent between the undefeated Nigel Benn, who I believe had 26 wins, 26 knockouts, and Michael Watson, who had a defeat on his record earlier on in his career. Not as many knockouts, but they had similar sort of records, and Watson was the rank underdog. Benn had been blitzing through everyone, but had some sticky moments. He had a 2-round absolute war with Anthony Logan for a Commonwealth belt, I think it was. Was out on his feet, had been knocked down, was about to be stopped, and then unleashed a hellacious left hook from the heavens to put Logan's head in the cheap seats, and got out of jail with that big punch. But wildly exciting, wildly aggressive, very, explosive aggression from Benn. And he was in against a far more refined, more understated, quieter Michael Watson. Like I say, this was a big old fight. Took part in my neck of the woods, because I'm from North London, Finsbury Park. And everyone expected Benn to defend his Commonwealth middleweight title against the, respected but largely underappreciated Watson, and didn't work out like that, because Watson soaked up the pressure in the early rounds, did not take a backward step, had a sort of very, very high guard where he wasn't holding his fists like that, he was actually holding his hands like that to maximise the protection. Every time Benn ceased punching, Watson would clop him, would absolutely bang him with straight punches down the middle, and Benn was having to fight at even though he always fought with absolute intensity and through a very large volume of knockout punches. Virtually every punch was a knockout punch. Watson was making him not stop throwing punches. So there's no respite. There were no rest periods for Benn. Unless he took a backward step, and Nigel Benn, I don't think he knew how to take a backward step. So, and whenever he did move back, Watson would move forward. So Watson had perfect tactics, and after 2-3 rounds, the 6-round fight, Watson was in the ascendancy, was putting the pressure on Benn. Benn still slinging these wild haymakers. He was so excited, it was unbelievable. But Watson more than matching him. Very, very tight defence, and an increasing output of very straight, hard, precise punches. So it was the raw aggression versus the schooling, if you like. And by the 6th round, Benn was absolutely exhausted, and Watson, I think he was on the ropes, that's right. Benn came forward because Benn knew how to do nothing but come forward. Watson timed him, hit him with a very hard left jab. Both men were orthodox fighters. Down goes Benn. I can still remember, was it Reggie Guttridge? Down goes Benn, and he didn't get up. Well, he mistimed the count, but to be honest, he was so exhausted, and it kind of looked like I don't like saying this because I'm a massive Nigel Benn fan, but he kind of looked like he just didn't have any answer, and he kind of lost his heart and quit. Not through cowardice. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm a massive Nigel Benn fan. I followed his career from start to finish, and to me, his fight with Gerald McClellan is the best fight I've ever seen. I almost went to that live, but I regret this, but I almost went to see that live, but I had a date with a girl I'd met 2 days previously at a gig I went to. But anyway, that's another story. But it is the best fight I've ever seen, Benn versus McClellan, and to me, just that win alone puts Benn in the Hall of Fame as far as I'm concerned. So I love Nigel Benn, but on the night against Michael Watson in 1989, he was outthought, and knocked out. Now, why am I saying all this? Well, let's fast forward however many years, 33 years, and Nigel's son, as you know, Conor Benn, is flying high. But I see a similarity here. Not a perfect similarity. It's not a repeat of history, but it is a similarity that bears mentioning, because Nigel Benn was not prepared to take on the likes of Michael Watson. He didn't have the schooling. He hadn't gone. He'd won the Commonwealth title, but he wasn't learning anything through all those blitzing knockouts. There was one guy, what was his name? Reggie something. The name's not going to come to me. He fought a guy, Benn, this is, Nigel Benn, and he got taken 7 rounds. He knocked the guy out eventually, but there were, and also with the Logan fight where he was nearly knocked out himself, there were so many alarm bells going off, so many warning signs, that it should have been obvious to whoever was handling him that you can't fight everyone like this. You can't just walk forward and sling these massive haymakers. Eventually you will find someone who can soak it up or cover up or outthink you, who's got a higher ring IQ and is going to not be intimidated. And I don't quite see that. I don't see exactly the same thing with Conor Benn, but I think he's gone down a very dubious path. Conor, this is, because he's fighting light punchers who are way past their best. And yes, he's improved greatly. I've seen Conor, just like I saw his old man, I saw Conor in the flesh. No question he's improved in leaps and bounds. And I like Conor Benn. He's an exciting fighter. I've got a lot of time for him. Love watching him. I wish him nothing but the best. But he is, either he's a prospect, or shall we say a work in progress. I think he's gone beyond the prospect level, but he's certainly still a work in progress. Or he's a leading contender. One or the other. You can't be both. Not with Boots Ennis out there. Did you see the performance by Errol Spence against Ugas? A terrific performance, really, better than I thought he'd show. I thought Ugas would give him more of a fight. And Ugas is a good fighter too. So if Benn wants to mix with these guys, he's got to learn the trade properly. Conor Benn is 25 now. He's still got time, even another 2 years, But you can't have a foot in both camps. And to fight Algieri, who's a light puncher and is nearly 40, Van Heerden, who was just about retired or very close to it, another, guy who doesn't really hit hard, who'd been out of the ring for a long time, Granados, who didn't want to fight, just, spoiled him. The Sammy Vargas fight was, in my opinion, it was stopped too early, but the writing was kind of on the wall, I suppose you could say, but I think it should have gone on. These are learning fights. But Conor Benn is ranked, I don't know where he's ranked, I think he's certainly in the top 10 of a couple of these ruling bodies. So, how do you think he'd do against Boots Ennis? The thing about, or any of the champs, Crawford, no. There's no hurry, the guy's 25. Now, I've always been someone, because I'm kind of old, you do the old area level, British level, Commonwealth, or your national level if you're whatever country you're from, European, then you go into world level, you fight the gatekeepers, the fringe contenders, Nigel Benn, after the Watson defeat, it was make or break for him. And because he's a man of great fortitude and got a lot of mental strength and so on, he went over to America and he fought not Ricky Stackhouse. Did he fight Ricky Stackhouse? I know Watson did. Sandline Williams he fought, and another good quality journeyman who I can't remember. He had 2 10-round decisions in America because he knew that it was all bells and whistles previously. It was all flashing lights. It was all hyperbole. You have to get to the point where you're ready to take those gradual steps up. Gradual steps up. Don't do what Josh Kelly did and jump in with Avanesian when you've only had 10 fights. It's foolishness. Conor Benn, you take Avanesian, he's a European level. Conor Benn has bypassed the domestic scene. Echo Esserman, that's a possible fight. Could have had. McKinson is another fight. But he's bypassed all that to jump to world level. And so when someone who's, I would say is world level, but he's certainly European level because he holds the EBU belt, Avanesian. Eddie Hearn don't want any part of Avanesian. Avanesian scared the shit out of Eddie Hearn when he smashed up Josh Kelly. So he won't put Benn in. That's too risky. High risk, low reward. But you're not going to learn. You've got to take these incremental steps if you're going to, you've got to learn the trade. You don't just want to fight for the title. You want to win it and you want to keep it. Okay? This is the way things have to be done, or the way things should be done, I think. So as much as I like Conor Benn, I think there is a similarity at the moment, although he's made tremendous improvements. And he's not bad. He's a great fighter. He's a great to watch fighter. But in terms of boxing technique, in terms of variety, in terms of tools in the fistic toolbox, has he got enough yet to be called a genuine world-class fighter? I don't think so. I've not really seen it. To me, Conor Benn is fringe world, European level, should be fighting for the EBU belt. And if he got beat by Avanesyan, who gives a fuck? He'll have learned something. Just like Nigel learnt from being smashed up by Michael Watson. You know, I just think that he's being handled very, very poorly at the moment. And I've heard other people say this too. I think Carl Froch did a couple of interviews over the weekend with Carl Froch, and he was saying something very, very similar. But yeah, I want Conor Benn to succeed because I loved his old man, and I think Conor's a good kid, and you know, good luck to them. But you've got to be brought on, you've got to be schooled, you've got to be educated, you've got to do your apprenticeship properly. No cutting corners. Anyway, just my thought. What do you think? Do you have an opinion on this? Are you a Conor Benn fan? Do you like what you see? I like what I see so far, but no way on earth is he ready for the top 5. Let me know what you think. Thanks for your time, as always. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I always say that, but go on, hit that subscribe button. It's free. Much love to all of you. Enjoy the rest of your Easter Monday. I'm going to go out, nice weather out, so I'm going to go for a nice walk, do a few things, and I'll catch you later. Take care of yourselves.